Alright. Oh boy, where is my Danganronpa thumbnail? This is why we put folders on for Danganronpa. Alright, there we go. Didn't take too long to find. Alright, I'll be in chat in just a little bit. Ugh! Hi, bud. Oh no, okay. Come on, finish up. Again, I apologize for being so late. I once again slept in late. You know, this is like my regular time now, and I hate it. I hate streaming at 10. I hate it. I hate it with passion. Okay, there we go. You want on the bed, bud? No, we don't need some. Alright. I'll find if it's critical or not. Ugh. Did she have a, There's something weird about Body's fingernails. They're fake nails, they're really long. They seem to be getting in the way. There's also something on the back of that right hand. The tattoo got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it. The white jacket. Was it wet? That's because it got set on fire, so I threw water on it. You can only threw water on the bottom half is still dry. There is, isn't there? We need to look at the bottom half. Step away from the dead body. What's this? Be the knife that was stuck in the body. Knife mix. That's the knife that the person's holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever this person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person, I was gonna say persona, got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and then maybe and if this is really Koyoko, that means Koyoko is the one who attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly about from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. We need to I counted 4 chickens. Huh? 4? There's...
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were? Of course, there are precisely 5. Yeah, right?
Huh?
What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But...
Hey, Snipey, good morning. Well, not good morning to you. Like, good afternoon for you.
What?
What are we gonna do? Going from 4 to 5? Let's try that again. Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the world structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even one single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. You sound really quiet, BTW? What? Yeah, let's try that. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. We'll pretend it's morning for me too. It's fine. Alright, well then, good morning! Not for Snipey! Oh wait, we already looked at this. You sound better now? I hope it's not Koyoko.
What the
heck? Wait, we already looked at this. Okay. Should we talk to everyone? Yeah! So who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. But there was also a knife sticking out of its stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the body was still wet. Bayukuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. That means it wasn't stabbed here! But I know my crime shows. Wow, thanks, that's a big help. Now you explained it. I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it helped me remember it a lot better too, so thank you. How's your morning so far? I woke up about 30 minutes ago, so... Good time, Code. I wanted to talk to you. Talk? Wait, no. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you talking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it? Isn't it obvious the murder took place after nighttime? Oh wait, his computer was later than Yeah. Before you ask, it's very cloudy, and it's going to rain. Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I could confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words...
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime, after I left the garden. However, how are you still alive? That's what I want to know. I just finished working. How was work? However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Why were you in the gym? Why was I left alone? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's room to get them. At some point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember now. How's Genghis and the cat? Jack, how are you? He's like, I don't understand what you asked. You want on the bed? He's just sitting there. You want on the bed? Yeah, I'll put you on the bed. As a precaution, we went, oh my gosh, a snipey. So I actually got, do you remember? Oh, come on. There you go. Do you remember the Final Fantasy 7 materia shirt that I showed you? I got that, and I got the character design as a sweatshirt. They arrived yesterday. Work was good. A little tired, but not as bad as yesterday. That's good. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only one who don't have alibis is me and Koyoko.
That's right. And
if the victim is really Koyoko... Yeah, I got it. I'm actually wearing the materia shirt right now. Cloud, I got you materia! Then I'm the only one without an alibi! Also, when we went, we stopped by your room as well, but you never came to the door. So where precisely were you? Do you like it? I actually, how do you like it? I really like it. I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi. I know. So what now? How comfy is it? The shirt? It's pretty comfy. I don't know about the sweatshirt. I'm gonna wash it first. So what now? You seem to have quite a disadvantage here. I messed up, but whatever. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and?
Serious?
Oh well, I was just thinking about when we first on the body. When the body was found, huh? I should go back. I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual, and I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. How's your neck and knee? Actually, they're all fine right now. My neck's still a little sore, but... Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe. That's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now that Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9, so probably around 9 on the dot. That's right, it had to be right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job here is done. That's a pretty small job. Alright. Your room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, it's a pretty stereotypical Is this a tarp? Wait, was the tarp here before? I should probably look into it. It should be related to the case. We'll probably finish this game either today or next week. The underside is totally clean and completely dry. On one side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about this bothers me. There's one thing I hear that concerns me. What? There's something carved. Okay, we already have this. Crazy diamond. Nearly cut my hand with Well, don't cut your hand. That's not good. Alright, I think we're good here. the panel that controls the sprinklers. Hold on. So the sprinklers were turned off 7:30 each morning, right? And if the body was here then... Okay. Alright, I think I've checked everything I need to check in this area. Minor miscalculation. I'm about to know other areas I need to check. Is that corpse really Koyoko? If that's true, was that also Koyoko who attacked me last night? It better not be! Koyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room.
It's all clear now.
I will simply put, limit your options. I cannot allow you to gauge in. Toast, what are you doing?
What?
Limit my options.
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room. Toast, what are you doing? Toast, are you trying to get into a bag? You dumb cat. You're not gonna fit. You're too fast. Yeah. You tried last night too. She's trying to get into a bag. Hi! What you doing? You leaving now? Bye! Bye, Toys! Alright, we can leave. I don't think I've seen everything. I think you have! What else is there? Do we need to check this plant? I think we have. Wait, we gotta, I think, talk to him. You come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class drive. No. Oh! I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different... Sorry, I have my own agenda. Find me again later.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you or I may not. Come back later, huh? Check out that one area. Okay, now we can leave. Thanks for being so, okay, we want to go to... Gym. Can we get into the gym? The Monokuma's gone. Oh no, it's right here. I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I felt something. What is it? Oh yeah, it's a bomb!
Huh? What?
A bomb! The bomb went missing. There's no doubt about it. The fragments I found in the garden. Koyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask. Okay, well, he left the garden. Can you do surprise egg? Let's open it. We open the bomb. Alright. But he wasn't at the garden last time. He left the garden. Oh, he's still here.
Let's go.
You wanted to... Okay, let's go. Can we... And I hurried off to him. Okay, good. I don't have to... Alright, where is Koyoko's room? Over here. Why are we so short though? I can't unlock it myself. Oh, for Pete's sake. How much did I miss before I joined? Not much. Like, we investigated a little bit, but you didn't miss much. Wow, this is nice. So this is Koyoko's room. It's very similar. Should we look at the bed? Here's her bed. What can we look at? What's this? There's something on the table. It's a wooden block decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really public bathhouses use them for keys. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me at all. Yeah, they cut open today. They're stinging. Oh, dang. Even though I have no idea how much it hurts to get stung by a bee. You know, I've never been stung by a bee either.
It's certainly possible.
If it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really what? Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that might go to it. The dojo? Okay, let's talk to them now.
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what are you looking for? Nothing in particular. I thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Koyoko gave me something. What is it?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it unless something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. I found it! What's in the envelope? Koyoko gave it to me. She said something, if ever something happened, I should open it.
Interesting.
Well, I hope she didn't die. I like her. I liked her. I opened the envelope and look inside. It's a single piece of paper. Under the sheet.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? I'm assuming under the bed sheet. But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect anything. What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Oh, is this? Okay, what is she? What is she? Let's figure this out. Oh, it's the other student. Gosh darn it.
I see.
Not Wookiee? Sorry. I can't speak Wookiee. Is it Wookiee? What's the name of the Wookiee language? It appears Murakua. I can't do names. Ikusaba. Yeah, it looks like it. What is this? The 16th student? It's probably the other thing Koyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. God, it's so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key and that's it. That must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Koyoko said that death without meaning was unappealing, so this is what she left behind. Did she actually die? I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. It's in Japanese. I can't read that. Sex female, the ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed interest in military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she joined a mercenary group known as the Fenrir. Oh my god, that's in Final Fantasy. For those 3 years, she insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she received battle training on her own volition. They speak, oh boy, I'm just gonna call it Wookiee. They speak Wookiee. I'm not very good at spelling, or not spelling, whatever. You know, I'm just not very good at English. Hold on a second, it's really dark in here, I gotta turn on the light. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group, this doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's completely different from different dimension. This is like one's non-fiction and the other sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how it is different. That's how I saw things as just another ordinary person.
I
but then,
see.
I never imagined I'd hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. You recognize
Naturally.
it? The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a group. Oh my god, it's not even a group, it's a collection! My brain? Okay, you know how to say Siri? Okay. Shit. I'm just gonna call it Wookiee! But wow, that's totally impressive that you knew that and you didn't have to Google what do Wookiees speak. But they do have their uses. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir is already...
Found it!
Well, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit of a player, and a bit of a player is becoming our hero. Ah, it's you! What have you got in your pretty little hand there? You found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me, I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. In case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Koyoko even though she stole it, hid it. After all, there's no regulation, no rule against stealing, is there? You're having so much difficulty. I am having so much difficulty! But who I can't forgive is Miss Oyagami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's rule. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice and devour it. Bears are omnivores, you know.
What?
Are the rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on dedication to organization and order. Man, you're really struggling today. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely! I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is, now can I? In fact, the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting. It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there were, did I? I was thinking, maybe I should clarify.
Hey,
When... Like, why can't there be voice acting? When all you first got together in this hall, the main hallway, back when there were 15 people worth there. I think that the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. Oh my gosh, I remember On. Do you remember On? Her name wasn't On, but she looks like On. A misunderstanding. Are you saying?
In other words...
That's right, there weren't exactly 15 of them.
Yes, indeed!
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16, then!
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of the school life, though, and so the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because, like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You won't believe the ratings. It's always been getting interesting, yeah. And since we've gotten so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed.
Makes sense?
I forgot
now.
it's being televised. This really reminds me of Battle Royale. Oh god, hold on, I'm stretching. Ugh, that was a good stretch.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri. So I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to hide a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Pew. Okay, now that's all you get. Monokuma's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Koyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. Wait, it's on the back of her hand. It's a tattoo. Wait, but no, Monokuma said they were specifically scars. I mean, whatever. So that's why Koyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars, which means those fake nails in the corpse. Are you thinking about Koyoko again, huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull? Ouch! Do you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means... Oh, I already forgot how to pronounce her name. Murukuru? That was the
right.
student here. Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Murukuru is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later, but the mere fact that he said that proves Murukuru is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of the 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair.
Yeah, because Monokuma is all about fairness here, people.
It's
Alright,
certainly
perhaps
possible.
she's the one who killed Koyoko.
What? That would explain why we have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed somebody, that would make her part of the school killing game.
Murukuru is the killer? She killed Koyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began. But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed.
It's all clear now.
Murukuru Ikusaba isn't the culprit. What? What makes you say that? We thought Murukuru, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true... Oh, my tinnitus is acting up. Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's
So,
a good
in
point.
other words...
There we go, it's gone. Murukuru gave us information that would raise questions about her, would be bold to say the least. It makes more sense than to assume that Murukuru isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Murukuru and come to the wrong conclusion. That makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely seems possible. But if that's really true, if Murukuru isn't the killer, then who is? I do believe here our work is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find that key in the dojo, if the key and the dojo are really connected.
Let's go.
Are you coming? God, I hate this guy. That was passion. Alright, let's talk to him. He's so annoying. What's worse is that he almost is always correct, which is a pain in the butt. The lockers are wooden. They use wood block keys, just like the super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Koyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker furthest to the right?
Very strange.
It's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means? I should probably use the key we found in the locker,
right.
Just try it, okay. Well, it also does say the letter number 6, which is probably why it's number 6.
Alright, if they tell us we gotta sacrifice someone, Bayakua is getting voted.
Help!
Arrows, there are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. Uh-oh. Thunder. Stay asleep, Pug. Stay asleep. Which means they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but... Seriously, again, Tinnitus? Strong sticks. There's also something else in the locker. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this is used for. Is that a blood stain? If it is, that means it surely is related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow? But how could that be possibly involved? I messed up. I'm just gonna stay silent. I'm just kidding, I'm not staying silent. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now.
Very
wrong.
strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? BRB, I got you. The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to this case, but how did the key in the to the locker wind up in the victim's
Why?
Or perhaps... Alright, forget it. Come on, we need to continue to the next location. What next location? There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir, you mean the mercenary group that Murukuru was a part of? But how are we supposed to find about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive has all kinds of information that the general public doesn't
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive at the back of his hand and went straight to the shelf in the back. Here we go. Quickly return the file with the file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way in high school without learning a single word of French? I'm sorry, I don't speak French. I mean, I speak Spanish, so I might be able to get a few words. Well, whatever, I'll read it for you. But I expect you to pay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that a bit extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, there are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At the present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate that they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they acquired. Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different to our own lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right, it said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they were each member of the team, each soldier that joins, will get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on the body. What? They got a tattoo a tattoo? I can't speak! Tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean Mukuru Ikusaba's profile has been updated? Ding dong, bing bong! The class trial will now commence.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us. Organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
Then the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth
That's
during the
right.
class trial. It would seem that way. Yes, let's go. Alright, can we save first? In case... If I can save. I forgot the controls. Regulations, save. Did we save? Did it save? Yeah, okay. Whoa, Bayakui and Makoto, shut up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's rank high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some creepy fantasy for yourself? Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any minute. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself, but... We stood there for a full 5 minutes, waiting for something weird to happen, then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up
Could
yet?
it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or what? What? Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait, huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so if it's okay, I'll punish the one making us wait, right? If we all agree that's a violation, I'll arrange punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey,
Koyoko! I'm here, no rule's been broken. Koyoko! Koyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later,
What?
right? But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being
is
late?
that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially. But I'll bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of y'all. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Koyoko. Koyoko! So you really didn't die? Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us, huh? He's right. Now we gotta deal with a ghost! I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the class trial. Without ever looking directly at Koyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long. I'll be happy when this class trial's over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Koyoko before the trial started. Yo, ma'am, what's up with this? Listen, before I get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
So, I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor...
That's right.
There weren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then when did you find out? Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to get over to the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late. I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting. But you were on the second floor of the dorms. And that's what the key you found goes to. Actually, to be precise,
In
not
other
quite.
words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Oh,
Just a second.
Pups. Well, Koyoko's not dead. That's why you missed.
Makoto.
Oh, Snippy, should we get the bad ending first before we, right now, we can get the bad ending.
It would seem...
Because of this, probably the most single crucial moment, so for her, that's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment
Goodbye.
for her? Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Koyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Yeah. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the doors slid shut. Oh, there's only 6 of us left! This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In the dusky darkness, no one said a word. We stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable... oh my god. Immeasurable? I don't even think immeasurable is a word! Immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes, but it wasn't an illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this! I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs is past.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get on with the show! And so, the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. You want to save your data? Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, set skills. Yeah, it takes 4. Steadies your aim. Yeah, we want that. Yeah, we want that. Maybe not this one. Finish preparations. Class trial, all rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Let's get the bad ending first.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
What?
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't
Streaming tonight?
Kyoko,
Yeah,
right?
PG3 probably.
Then let's compare
might stream something
Kyoko's
else
traits
if my
to the traits
sister-
of the dead body.
If there's time in between, and I
Her
don't.
traits?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Yeah.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Oh, for Pete's sake! How is Hero still alive? Seriously, how? How is he still alive? But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't be moved forward. Make your argument.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Okay.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
This guy's an idiot.
Well,
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
How is he
This
still
entire
alive?
discussion is idiotic.
Okay.
That
which one? How do
Kyoko
I-
there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
think
Prove she's not a
triangle
ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I have no idea how he's still alive. Seriously.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves.
Fake nail.
Whoever
Yeah,
it
fake
was,
nails are weird.
they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily
I
life.
think I know who did it. I have no
If
idea
I
who
wore
did it.
fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Everything starts from there.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Okay, I think it's that one. 'Cause I think that's the only option.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
I'll wait to say what I think. Okay.
What? For real?
This is when we get the bad ending. We're gonna get the bad ending.
You're
in this,
lying.
bro.
You'll die a
But
cruel and unusual
I won't have
death.
to redo it.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
They won't know
Okay,
who Mukuro
so
Ikusaba
To show that
is.
they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Hangman's Gambit. Alright, I think it's Wolf. Alright, we need an F.
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo.
Oh, I just gotta figure out how to get to bad ending.
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf,
Not a very good
which
wolf,
means
though.
that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to
But
me.
she's not the ultimate.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Koyoko's the one
After
who
all,
said.
looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that
Well,
would
now
fit
I'm
such a description.
curious. Who is Koyoko?
All it said
Is he
was
the
that she
ultimate
was the
despair?
ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Kyoko got it
Who
wrong.
was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now, figuring out who killed Mukuro. is
Monokuma's
first
like, we're
and
getting
foremost.
out of
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
I love Monokuma.
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I think it's Koyoko. I think so too, but I don't actually know. I don't really want her to die. It's me. It's me and Koyoko.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me,
Correct
right?
grammar! Yay!
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
So, the only suspects now are me and Koyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might
Kodo,
reveal
but he has
some
hidden
kind of
personality.
clue.
2 characters with hidden personality?
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it!
9.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Oh, we already did this.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Okay, so it looks like the game has begun. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay, but so it wasn't wet, so it has to be before 7 or after 7:30, but with sprinklers. Alright,
We've
sprinklers.
established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
What if Koyoko hypnotized Makoto somehow? Well, he was sick, so I think that has something to do with it too, maybe.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock...
No, that's wrong!
Right.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny
How is Toko still alive as
Yeah,
well? How are these
they're
people still
totally
alive?
wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence. I think it's the game I hate. Moment of truth. I hate this part. I hate it so much.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
Boom! We actually didn't fail!
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it.
Wow, that face though.
Just
That's the
remember
first
what the
time I
body
didn't
was
fail!
like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
I feel good about this one.
If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's
Same
just
here.
move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So Kyoko
So
is
there's no way
screwed.
Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko. No, I refuse to believe it.
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a
Okay,
reason
got
to
you.
kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. But you
We'll be
made
streaming for a
one
while,
catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and
You
no
might
alibi,
miss the bad
well then,
ending, though.
I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
Why is she throwing
The
me under the
sprinklers
bus?
didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm listening.
tarp.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp.
Please
and
be like
that'd take care
Toko
of
or
the water.
somebody, okay? Please be Toko.
In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
She threw us under the bus! Why would she make it look like I'm the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. But the body.
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone thinks I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko says.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Okay, I think it's this one. I remember the blood hadn't dried yet.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was
What
camouflage?
if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
Kyoko, what are you doing? I'm
I
so
know.
confused by
He could
you.
have grabbed some of the
Kyoko?
blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Did they kill a chicken? Is that why? Because I think this is the only one that makes sense.
I got it!
They
Could it
used
have
chicken
been
blood.
Chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp.
Okay, I'm following so far.
Later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
What is Kyoko doing?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Kyoko's the mastermind?
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
What?
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
Well, she hasn't really been befriending Makoto. I have been befriending
I'd seen that knife
Kyoko.
somewhere before.
I mean, she has sort of.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
More important, now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. I don't want it anyway, so what are we gonna do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me?
It's
Kyoko, what are you doing, Kyoko?
Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
She definitely
Then why
helped
did
me
you
about a bunch
hide
of
that
times.
fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
I'm not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Oh wow, this is a big one.
It's the
Yeah,
same
Hero,
one
how are you
we gave
still
to
alive?
Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once? That automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
Damn,
What a
damn.
horrible man you are, Makoto.
We've already established that the coat was put on after the tarp was removed.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once? That automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, that's wrong! Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim, no, that's not possible. The condition, I think this is the Monokuma file.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
I'm so confused
Oh yeah,
as
it
to
sure
what's
did.
going on.
I totally forgot about that.
Who killed her?
Then the knife...
Because it obviously wasn't Makoto.
Was just another piece of
I don't
camouflage
think they would
set
do,
up by the
you
true
blacked
killer.
out. People, it was actually
They
Hero. Can
probably
we
stabbed
blame
her to draw
Hero?
attention away from what actually killed her.
Maybe he's just playing
Exploding
stupid.
the body afterward was
Maybe he's
probably
actually
meant to do the
incredibly
same
smart.
thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle
Oh,
caused
for
an
Pete's
atomic
sake,
level
Hero.
spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere
I mean,
before.
Hero can't actually be that dumb, right?
That's only natural.
This has to be
Because, of
an app.
course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
I don't think it was Kyoko.
Hold on
I
a
really
second,
don't.
Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me.
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Monokuma file 5. I don't think this is what we want.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Told you, see, sussy.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file
I never
says she was
trusted her.
hit
I
with
trust
a
her.
blunt
I don't
object,
think she killed.
about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw
What
it on
is
the
going
ground
on?
and spit on it.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
I think it's the arrows. That's the only thing that it could be, right?
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the
Hero
back
is
of
so
the head
stupid.
with
See, I
something.
don't actually know if
And
he's actually
that's
that
what killed
stupid
her.
now.
And that
Now
something
I'm actually
was
like, is he just
the
pretending to be
titanium
this
arrow
stupid?
we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no
Can
doubt
we have,
about
like,
it.
Makoto kill Toko before she does something
Are you
kinky?
sure? That sounds...
Dark Jar Jar conspiracy theory? Perhaps.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
One more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master!
Too thin.
You have no
the bloody
right!
duct tape. If it was just a titanium arrow, it wouldn't be thick enough, which is why they used the duct
The
tape.
titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too...
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
It's not really
The killer
balled up, but
probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
I mean, these
Similar
killers are
to
pretty
Aesop's
creative, though,
fable
if I have
about
to
the
be
bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
How was your sleep last night?
I've
Good,
never
actually.
been
I
to
think
the
I woke
dojo.
up once, but it wasn't cold.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
The
Because
key.
we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
It's hard to hear you again? Sorry. Hey, I haven't really been talking. I've been enthralled in this dialogue here. Okay, we want, the wood block key.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
It was in your room, ma'am!
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame
But it's
Makoto
all
for the
too
crime.
convenient, if you ask
This
me.
all proves that you are the true culprit.
I still
hold on a
believe in Kyoko.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
This is my new favorite
No,
TV show.
it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
What? She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? She came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which would mean that Kyoko killed someone
That's
for
enough.
me?
The time for idle chatter is over. A
Jesus!
verdict is close at hand.
I'm
Wait,
enthralled. I really am.
I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Bayuka should know better than anyone? What does that mean?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Because he has her key?
What are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated
Did
a theory
he kill her?
earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and
But she
then
couldn't get
left the
into
locker
it.
key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Oh no, I
You
messed
should
up!
understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo
Maybe
locker.
it was him!
And then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Oh! The plot thickens!
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong.
Now there's thunder. It's okay, Pop. It's okay, buddy.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able
okay,
to get
bud.
into her room.
Here, let me move some stuff so you can jump out. It's okay, bud. It's okay, buddy. Come here.
Huh? Why not?
Come here. Come here. Oh, and then the headset came.
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
It's okay, bud.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
It's okay, puppy.
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
No, I dropped my headset came apart. My headset, yeah.
Am I
not came
wrong?
apart, but got unplugged.
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Okay, bud. It's just thunder. No, that's actually not true. There's a clear contradiction. But this isn't like her. To try to save herself with such a desperate lie. Alright, we're gonna get the bad ending. Does she really feel that threatened? Okay, we're gonna choose to pursue her lie. Or is it something else? Was there a deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. The trap, this is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but what if it's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap. The victim was Murukuru. Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it, but who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. I have no idea at this point. I think Murukuru is actually dead. Murukuru? Murukuru? What should I do? I have to decide right now. Pursue the lie.
There was a
we're gonna get the
lie
bad
hidden
ending.
within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you, so let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Make your argument. I have
didn't
no idea
the
where
key
the
to my
lie is.
room, because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So
Okay,
I
let's try to
couldn't
get as
possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there.
Okay, we have three
That's
options.
the only explanation.
With names, don't you? Yeah, I do have names. Because I, like, my brain, like, overpronounced stuff.
I didn't
Alright,
have the key to my room.
Let's try...
Because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Okay, I think that's right.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No,
Oh,
he's
we're right
wrong.
on!
No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room.
Because she has the key!
You said so yourself. Didn't you, Kyoko?
Because she has the key!
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school. Which means she could have used it to get in.
Oops, I skipped
Then
it.
I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
We're gonna get the bad ending.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it.
See, I think she's the ultimate detective.
So I lost.
Because from what I know,
That's all this means.
I wonder...
Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time.
We're gonna get the bad
okay?
ending.
Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Okay, I think there's a trophy for this. There better be a trophy. I don't think... it's not her, I don't think. Good job, you got it right. Brilliantly right? We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Wait, I'm so confused! This says it's the bad ending! Oh my god, she's gonna get squished! Maybe the bad ending's just her dying? Yeah, maybe. After school lesson. That sound. And that was how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or not. Regardless, this truth was lost forever, even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial, and in the end it would prove our last class trial. Once the case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. We have to stay here forever! And Hina had kids with 2 people! Peace, but only for us. It was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. This is why it's the bad ending, I guess! This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
Thank you, Makoto.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Oh, she had kids with 3 of them, and Toko somehow died! Her claim? That's right, I have to. Do I expose Kyoko's lies? So now we have to go back, I think. Am I wrong? Let it go. Wait, I was supposed to get a trophy though! I believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone.
Well,
I mean, you don't have a lot of options. And no one have a rebuttal?
Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
Who killed her, though?
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Byakuya, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto.
Oh my god, it goes back to Makoto!
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's
Oh my god, what's going to happen?
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time.
I'm so confused! So am
So
I!
then
Who
it's
killed
time
her?
for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right
must
choice
acquit.
or the dreadfully wrong one?
What's a mistrial?
Hey, hold on!
There we go. I think we got both.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be? Oh my god, it's Makoto! What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job. Good job. Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. The whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Monokuma was on there? Monokuma was on there,
Let's
really?
give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
What's my punishment? Oh, is it the same punishment? Wait, is Makoto gonna actually die? It's okay, bud. But there's no one up there. There's no one up there, buddy. Genghis, okay? Yeah, it's thundering. And Puppy doesn't like thunder. Check, it's okay, bud. Come here. Come here. Come here, JJ. You want on the bed? Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, I'll get you on the bed. Yeah. Stay right there. Stay right there. It's okay, Puppy. It's okay. It's okay. Oh yeah, you shaking. It's my puppy shaking. You son, you're scared, the puppy. Wait, we didn't actually get... But your breath is kind of stinky, bud.
Wah-wah?
Wah-wah? What's going on? What's that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it to hell, I don't believe this. Seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
Heck?
What was that?
In other words,
You shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an inch. Itch. The stupid virus is gone. Gotta be. So now, so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get him to smash flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in the garbage-strewn pit, in a way, it's a better, way better, even punishment. Whatever. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Kyoko, what is the meaning of this? What the hell is going on?
calm down.
We're not the only ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
The mastermind, it's the mastermind that's instigated.
What did you...
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in the top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say even if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. Wow, we're going back to the beginning? There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to be already attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you get scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Ne? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of the hidden wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever. What was I doing asleep here? This wasn't any classroom I've been in. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could feel my mind and body start to come together, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful to be a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. The heck of the situation to find myself in. But that's just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. He used up the last bit of strength he had to do it. So I can't give up now. But there's no one on top of there, buddy. I don't know what you think you're gonna do, but there's no one on the bed. With that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Well, the door's a good place to start, I think. I'm so hooked into this game. Yeah, so am I. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed, pulled, or kicked it, it wouldn't budge. There's no getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, not if I'm going to get out of here anytime soon. At least I think there's an anime, Snipey. I don't know how good it is. There's plenty of food in here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids to drink, and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in from all sides. This reminds me of Star Wars. Yes, they're... looking at it right now. Oh, okay. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was... go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had after not being able to drink or eat. Okay, it's been like a day. Okay, granted, you know, you start feeling loopy after not having a water for a day, but that's besides the point. I feel it was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign exactly. Crunch! What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, drawing me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostle and form an odd shape. Did something fall down? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Well, let's go investigate, shall we? I carefully stretched out my hand to whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the garbage, I knew who it was. It's Kyoko!
It smells awful.
She has a cup of noodle on her head. You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing down here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and face me again. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat. We'll talk once you've finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and butter she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, making my way to my stomach. Fear that hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. Okay, it's been a day! I think there's a romance between Kyoko and Makoto. I don't mind that. Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. It's not such a bad thing to be good at. Alright, let's talk to Kyoko. Why did you come down here and rescue me? To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone? You didn't say anything. You knew that I knew. But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I
abandoned you? Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you to save my own life. You were trying to save me. I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you. But listen, I'm not trying to make excuses, but there's a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I had to survive.
In other words.
So I can do what I came to do to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. You have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak? That's right. At least I did once. Oops. Once. Until recently, I've forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory. That's impossible. Amnesia? Then it's really true. You lost your memory. Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived in the school? The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, then woke up. I was trapped
That's
here.
right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that point, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I came to the school. I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that? Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you lost your memory because... I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plan. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
That would also mean somehow my memories may be connected to this mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. Which is why I've been investigating things about myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help
Why
you?
is that?
If I did, and we worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's a chance the mastermind is one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. Since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us? In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by
However...
herself. That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah. It's just like that dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? We still have no idea who killed, whatever her name is. The 16th student. It was nothing.
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just I'm not used to relying on others. I know I'd never ask you to help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. I like her. That's all I'm saying. I like her. I don't trust her, but I do trust her at the same time. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective! I called it! I called it! Nah, it's gotta be Hero. I think it's Hero. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Hero. The ultimate detective.
Correct.
I was right! The reason it's someone I had to find here. You had to find someone who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. I actually thought of that as well! I thought to myself, what if she's related? I was separated from him as a child. It turns out he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster. I hate when there are two S's. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved. Found a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster.
No matter what?
The cause.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the mastermind wasn't the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that based on what I had seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there? The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone didn't know where anything had been in there. You mean the mastermind,
it's true.
Right? That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's the layout of the entire Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuru's file and the key. The map showed the second floor was home to the number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So I went there to see if the headmaster really had a private room.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? The part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You have to see for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough. It sounds like it must have been important, and really ominous.
However...
Of course, once I got to the second floor, there were no cameras. Which is why I had no idea what was in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba.
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so who did kill her? What I can say is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole the key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out in a
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. So, the bad ending is basically walking into their trap. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations. Hey. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There's a point where Mukuro may not have been become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto? I could have been the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as it moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this. which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, I suddenly had a sense of dread. I looked down the hallway and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. Oh my god, the smell must be so bad there! Are you talking about in here? I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
that wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the master assailant was ended up dead.
Correct.
Their murder was disguised. The dojo key wound up in my room. That was the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. At least it's not a Little Hope situation, at least not.
Indeed.
I have no conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if it's true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that mean create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right? You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's just not Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but they seemed ready to kill you in the room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it mean?
In other words,
it means that the mastermind is the one who has been cornered, huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt Mukuro was the ultimate despair and not she's dead. I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to indicate whoever caused that event.
That's right.
About what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair. That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Indeed.
Then they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair, and that is our real enemy. Chapter 5. 100-mile dash. Pain of a junk food junkie. I don't get that. 6. Students remain. To be continued! Got an item. Dream Island Rocket. Do you want to save data? Yes. 5 alive. The ultimate despair. Alright, we'll keep going for a little while. I don't think we'll finish today. The mastermind of the true identity. I misread that, but whatever. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Has it though? But right now, we're stuck. We have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after that. Yeah, you're right. Should we try the door again? It's locked, but we have a way to open the door. You finishing today or next time? Probably next time.
Indeed.
Because we have this, we have a class trial, at least one. But it's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I never part with it. And it can open any door to the school,
That's right?
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door. Let's use it.
It's true.
Let's find out. And then click. It opened.
Indeed.
Now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. Finally. We are finally free. Okay, well, we need a shower. Because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Because this is the final chapter, and then we have an epilogue. I don't know how long the epilogue is, though. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't see the end of it. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now you said that, I'm kind of getting nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off of it. So, Kyoko, there's something I want to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then your family is famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, not many have heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So, because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent justice, neither justice nor evil. That's how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned. I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. So that explains it. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true kitty-gitty detective would never do. The reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far and to enter Hope's Peak, is because of that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I have absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you be reuniting with him, reuniting after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about. There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the head of the Kyogiri family. He was talented, and he had a promising future. But he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after my mother died, he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me, because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. And so every last part of me is happy that he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I would never have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko, on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative. More. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what everyone in my position might say, right?
However,
that's not true. There is one thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out from his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we are no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. Oh, I feel like it turns out that he hasn't forgotten and he, like, did this so he could, like, actually meet up with her or something. But your family, just to cut him off like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. What if this is locked? It looks like this is it. The other side, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain this certain that this is where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, so... Yay, we're out! It looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're baback at Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, I wanted to thank you. I would have never gotten out without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Alright. We have to talk to her again? So what do we do now? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You help me, so
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then
let's just get a concrete answer, huh?
In other words...
Let's go ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we find out, and it's not like we can run away. As she said that she pointed to a nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What do you think is going to happen? Because the mastermind is the one who's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Monokuma's death. Muroku's... I butchered that name. Death. There was a moment where the mastermind let his guard down. There was? Right. If we talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go directly to him before he tracks us down. That should help our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we really don't have a choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Okay, we're going to the gym. Can we go to the store first and buy some gifts? Wouldn't that be funny if we could? Sup, losers? Are we here?
Well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind trying. But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really going to be okay? You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you? What? So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. That's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Right.
Kyoko! Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose?
Hey!
You! Explain yourself. What do you mean by that? Well, you set up the latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the black and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you, an entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed
Am I wrong?
No, there's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuru, you did.
Listen to me.
Executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big games. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well?
And you can prove this, right? No, I can't. Don't just say it like that! What's this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I can guarantee you'll find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only one ever absolute truth. Now you're trying to talk like some famous detective type. If Makoto really was the killer, he wouldn't have come to you so willingly. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to hide, run and hide. He would have been gripped by despair that you love so much to inspire. Yet here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
That's supposed to be enough to convince me the absence of evidence.
Indeed.
That it's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were executed Makoto right now, if you were to execute Makoto right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely disappointed.
Indeed.
Huh? Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because we said what we said exactly right. Despair can never kill hope.
Hey.
Of course, you can say that we're making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. I'm so confused. I'm so confused as well. If you want to earn our despair fair and square, then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours? To do Mukuru's trial all over again. This time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey.
Okay. Well, that would make it for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuru's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They probably would execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed! Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested, it might be possible, but it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain
myself!
Let's have
one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is a very fitting ending.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough for qualify as... A koala bear isn't a bear, though!
It's true.
Your bear puns have no... But your bear puns have fallen flat, sir. Koala bear's not a bear. It's a marsupial. And you can claw your way out of the truth of Mukuru's death and solve the mysteries of the school. Then you win. But if you can't do that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal its own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out. But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. You remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what? I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, and it bears repeating. Everything is based on school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuru is no exception. Murukuro? I need to hear the name again. Trial's no exception. That's part of the regulations. So that must mean whoever killed Mukuru is very polarizing approach, I know, but it's enough. Okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I've told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a step in Hope's Peak Academy since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why would he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm
done talking.
Angry!
I've got nothing left to say to you, so get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He's emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone, get out of here. Okay, I'm going, you're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walk away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it. Somehow, I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you for everything I have right now.
However,
you. Don't thank me yet. The real battle is just ahead of us. True, but still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they? They had no choice but to accept, huh?
Because...
That's because of... all because of that one moment, like the... okay. That one moment that the mastermind let his guard down, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let his guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airways to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that. And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? I mean, the idea of actually taking over airways seems unbelievable. You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult.
However,
and yet somehow the mastermind was
in
able to
other
do it.
words,
but think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
So
they had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world. The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And that all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would kill
in other words.
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. To prove a point. The outside world has The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking
That's
Hope,
right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants to see the world wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their ultimate goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's that kind of thing that no one but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer? I know how angry it must make you, and yet the same motivation is what led the mastermind revealing their weaknesses.
In other words,
because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least,
that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves. That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on it.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, and they made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work. Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion. To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they had to defeat one of us.
In other words,
it would only do the mastermind harm to have shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was just a hunch, right? And you're still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge? Well, it's only thanks to you that we got this chance. You believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue. In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. It looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh, and I took it as a sign of relief. be honest, I hadn't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell that you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I had shown my uneasiness, that would have just made it you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time. Or everything we've gone through have been for nothing. You're right. We can't defeat the mastermind. It'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win! But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone? Is that really possible? Huh?
Anyway,
right now we have to go find
shall we
the others.
go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Leave the area, yes. Not this way. Okay, they're in the dorms. Let's go to the dorms. Actually, let's check the dining hall first. Are they in the dining hall? And suddenly we're greeted with... I don't even know how to pronounce that. You again! Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability has reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
However...
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
Oh, yay! Voice acting!
Guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto!
Huh? You survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I will take that as a compliment!
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
I will take that as a compliment. All my friends who struggle together and survive. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
What's that smell?
What the heck?
Man, seriously, Sting. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away, shoo, shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up. Alright, let's talk to everyone.
Yo!
Yo, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world. Did you talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me neither. Do you realize why it was alter ego who saved my life?
That's right.
Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. So, what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured out since the class trial was over, we had access to a new place again. And no dice. All the rooms that were locked before are still locked. So there's no new areas. Then we can go find... Then where can we go find new clues? You stink. Are you rotten? Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling in garbage for a while. That smell is so smelly. Super smelly. Don't do that, ma'am! You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for a reason. Kyoko!
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with
Yes.
Monokuma. Explain what? But is it okay you're here? What if the mastermind catches you? It's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about what happened about the last class trial.
In other words...
We're going to redo Mukuru's trial. What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you. Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me either. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying, is it the work of the mastermind? Playing zombie army, it's fine. What, you're saying the mastermind killed Mukuru?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However...
I think there were 2 twos. but it's his decision that he would be the one to die.
What did you
You
say?
spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just,
However-
you know. But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The Mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the Mastermind agreed? Does that really mean they broke the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain leverage, didn't you?
Correct.
Very observant
Naturally.
of you. I recall what you had said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the Mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you're referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. Hero, we know it's you anyway, so shut up! For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the Mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery. But we've been looking around all this time. We still don't know anything, right?
Anyway.
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine with living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development. But figuring out who the Mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school's mysteries, it's pretty tall frickin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries. That's what I thought too at first, until Monokuma gave us a little hint of his hint. I'm sure I already told you this, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all 16 high schoolers. Those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. But why?
So, in other words...
The Mastermind really is one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko said. Then the Mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma's could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have had disguised.
In other words...
And according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope Peak Academy are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the Mastermind is... One of us! One of us! One of us! The Mastermind would have been one of them.
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones alive are the people standing right here. I need to continue our duty to get this. You're saying the Mastermind is one of us? We know it's you, hero! Wait, we can't say that for sure true yet. Monokuma might have just told us to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one of many. The Mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. That is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're the ultimate right, the ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us is the Mastermind, they have been controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
right?
And Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely possible if they directed the flow of conversation. Maybe, but still. Bing bong, bing bong.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very among the madness of him to unlock all
That's
the rooms.
fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can only rely on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must hold up your own responsibility. Well then, after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. God, Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless, so bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining room. Now she's gone. Are you gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko? That's right. Which leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself.
Just a second!
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure the mastermind's identity. I honestly still think it's him. Laughing out loud, Hina left the dining hall. Or Hiro, not Hina. What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same.
But...
I mean, it's not like I don't trust everyone, you know, but up until now I hadn't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. But you're not useless. You haven't been here. I would have died. Makoto? That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figured out, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it was just us two. You're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko? Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're doing our searches separately doesn't mean we still can't work together. That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then...
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Makoto. No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. We can all escape together! Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which completely went through the body. They had also been struck with the head by an object as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered in other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuru Ikisaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So, where would I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked until now. Headmaster's room, the bio lab, the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it, and the second floor dorms where the gate was before. That should be open now. Which means the garden, then the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check. Okay, I think we want to go this way. Okay, wait, do we want to go this way? Yeah, I think we want to go this way. Yeah, because this is open now. Alright. You know what? I think we're actually gonna stop here. My throat's getting a little sore. And then we'll finish it. We'll finish this game next week. Alright. Whenever you see this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night! Like I said, we'll finish this game next week. And that'll be the end of Danganronpa. Whatever. Trigger happy Havoc. Alright, whenever you see... Did I already do my outro? I have no idea. Whenever you see this is such a great game. I love this game. I'm so glad I started playing it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We'll be back later. Peace out. Talk to you later, Snipey.